Hi friends, good morning, and this video shows you that there is a UPS which was lying in my house for almost 12 years, and I had multiple opportunities to dump this or give it to this kabadiwala, and but somehow uh, to my surprise this UPS which stopped working long ago. I had a curiosity. Lately, I have done a lot of battery purchases. That is one for my Pulsar bike, 150cc, and the other one is this battery for this particular UPS. And lately, I had a purchase of a Miceotek UPS of the same amperage, same 600 VA, but it is quite compact and uh, although the size was the same, but it looks cuter. Of course, 10 years back, this was the design, and I could see this UPS could be a battery problem. So, with my curiosity, I had purchased in advance one battery. With yeah, this is a 7 ampere hour Excite battery, um, and but the battery inside this UPS is 7.2. Uh, I think earlier the standard was 7.2, so Miceotek used to use those 7.2 ampere hour batteries. But you can easily open this and replace, because the size is the same, the battery pack size and the UPS size and the covers, the fashion, the way they are openable, the way they can be serviceable, probably the design of the circuit also same. And to my good luck, there was no electronic or electronic or electrical problem. It is a simple battery replacement. So I could open half by the 4 screws for the cover, which is halfway through. You reverse it and you can open. And nowadays probably they don't solder up, they don't use the soldering for these connections of plus and minus. It can be simply a plug out and plug in type. Those days it used to be soldered, and it is a very hard soldered, so I had to use a soldering iron to heat these terminals, this red color and black color terminals from the battery, the old Miceotek battery. So that could help me remove the terminals and replace the battery. 0.27. What I did is I had to see a method to open the battery, and it is very simple. There are two supports, left and right, and one towards the transformer, which gives a spongy um, um, like a support for the battery, and there are some glues which has got dried up, and it could be easily removed. So my aim of showing this in detail is sometimes a battery replacement of a UPS will cost you a lot, but not anymore after looking at or after watching this video. So you have to open this See, I am trying with one hand, um, another hand is occupied with the camera. My the video you see is used by one hand, another hand is occupied. So you can see, because it is soldered, so it's very hard to remove. You can have a bigger soldering rod to remove this flatter pin from the battery. This is a Miceotek battery, as I told you, 7.2 ampere hour, 12 volts, and they used to write max 2 years. As you know, as you all of you know, 2 years a battery normally functions, and thereafter probably you need some kind of repair, maybe fill the distilled water, maybe you have to trickle charge, or you do many things to the battery to operate again to the same conditions like a new. So I had to use a soldering rod, and yeah, that was my 10-watt soldering iron. I used that for a longer duration and removed the battery. So it's time to replace with the new one. The new battery is a X-side one, and it has got all the protective coverings for the terminals. I had to scratch little bit so that you had good contacts, because I'm not going to solder this, but let me see if I can do simply, because once it is soldered, the terminals are again having some residue of the lead. The soldering, I think it is very hard. So you have to again heat it up and solder these terminals, because there are some residue. Anyways, it's easy to solder again. I did the soldering, and I need to maybe little bit use a black tape, so that no contacts to these terminals from the battery. And the UPS is already on. I request all of you to use precautions, because once the UPS is on, the circuits are on. There might be a short circuit. There might be. I'm trying to push the red button, thinking that the latest Miceotek UPS has a button, but this button here is a hard button, which is situated in the back side of the UPS. I have switch off to check whether the battery holds and you get the supply. So red color shows that there is no power to the UPS. It is a battery which is supplying the output, and the beeper is also long duration beeper. That means it beeps after a long while. Current UPS, you can find a quick, the, the the time interval of the beeping is quicker. So that's how I replaced it, and it's time to put some black tape, and that is also done. Now it has to be, you know closer up this outer casings. There are two to the bezel, two screws, and it all goes as I have shown in this video. You can do even in one hand, although it is difficult, but yes, you can still do it. These four screws goes to these four areas. Yeah, topple it and tight those screws. Now it's time to check the output, and I have used, there are three output for this. One, I am using my LED charger light and the soldering 10-watt soldering rod. So let me switch off the power so that I should get continuous output, AC output. So that shows that the UPS is properly functioning, and here I can show you the torchlight, LED torchlight I have, that is still functioning. There is no power to the UPS. Let me, yeah, the red light shows that there is no power, and there is a beeper that alerts you that there is no power to the UPS, and you have the torchlight functioning properly. That shows that the UPS functions. What I am going to do is I have to utilize my setup box and TV and the sound bar. So